One of the great perks of growing up in Northern California was studying California history. And let's face it, California history, especially Northern California history, is all about the gold rush. There's gold in them thar hills. 1848 Coloma, kind of up there near Placerville and Auburn. 1848 the Sierra foothills, the South Fork of the American River. Gold, of course, discovered at Sutter's Mill by James Marshall. Gold fever, hundreds of thousands, mostly men from across the U.S., but also all the way around the world, came to make their fortune right here in NorCal. San Francisco was the international port. Boom towns sprung up where mining camps were, transforming the California economy, and it has not looked back ever since. All this led to statehood in 1850, but the truth is, when you study the gold rush in California history, very, very few of those gold miners ever got rich. Most failed miserably. The real fortunes were made by the merchants, the bankers, the suppliers, the ones who sold the dry goods, the tools, offered the transportation, the services to miners chasing the gold. Speculate on speculators. Most didn't get rich. Most went broke. A lot of them got sick. A lot of them died young, spent years chasing rumors through the mountains and the mud. The ones who speculated on the speculators. Now, they were the ones who captured my attention. Still do, to be quite honest. Take someone like Levi Strauss, most obviously inventor of the blue jean. Samuel Brannan of Brannan Street in San Francisco sold shovels and picks and supplies, famous for saying, when everyone is digging for gold, sell shovels. The ones who own the hotels and the shipping companies and the banks and the railroads and the wholesalers and the saloons and the brothels and the laundries and the food suppliers and the land speculators. Man, every single one of them is a much steadier path to success. Welcome to the Rated Rabbi Sports Card Podcast, Season 2, Cards Against Time, Episode 10, Speculate on Speculators. I was at my chiropractor the other day, and she asked me to tell you very kindly, if you wouldn't mind, to please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. So my return to California in 2025 came at a price, and one part of that price, a significant part of that price, was a real hit in my discretionary income. However, there is not a direct correlation between discretionary income and happiness. It's been worth every little sacrifice, even though one of the biggest sacrifices of all has been I don't have a monthly card budget. In Virginia, each month into my PayPal account, I was able to put a set amount. I had to give it up. Now, when I moved west, I did have my savings. I did have a war chest. I did have value in my cards, but things had changed. And so I began to think differently about collecting, differently about the hobby. I'm a collector at heart, but given the change in my circumstances, I started to think about investing. Nothing wrong with that. I believe I'm a hybrid, low-end hybrid. What's that chart, that thing, whatever it's called, the Jeremy Lee thing. But I started to think about investing. Hobby Spectrum, thank you. Clearly not a sponsor. So I started thinking about investing in cards, taking some of that war chest and seeing if I could grow it, buy cards, have them go up, sell them, take the profit. You know the routine. And around the same time, this is September, this is October, I started listening to a podcast, a new podcaster on the scene, one with an economics background, self-described as being back in collecting for just 1 year, something that quite honestly would reveal itself at times as I listened to him describe cards and the history of the hobby and sets, but he was very upfront about that. He was also very convincing about cards, especially from an economic point of view, and especially when it came to soccer. Then and now, World Cup is the event. World Cup starts 1 month from today, June 11th, 2026. The big deal is it's coming here to North America. I'm going to show you a slide of what was going on in cards in the fall of 2025, if I may. This is from Card Ladder. This shows daily sales total. It's a 1-year graph, May 11th, 2025 to today, May 11th, 2026. If you look in the fall, there was a huge bump. We're sailing along. It's around 40,000, gets to 50,000 late August. In October, it goes all the way up to 150 a day, $150,000. Then it's 150 in November. It dips a little bit into December, goes all the way down. By the time we get to late January, it's even a little bit below where it was in late August. If you follow the line all the way out to the right, the daily totals are actually significantly lower, with the exception of these single big blips. Those are single sales, I'm guessing, driving those big numbers on the right. But the hump in the middle is what I want to talk about, because that's when I started looking at investing in cards for the very first time. So, doing some homework and listening to this podcaster again, I was practicing my own free will, but I was getting caught up in the excitement, and I ended up buying 15 soccer cards. Am I a soccer fan? I try, but I've been trying for so long. I'll watch a game, but if I'm, it's a match, Dave. Okay, whatever. I bought these 15 cards with the intention of holding and selling all but one of these cards before the World Cup started on June 11th. I did homework. I'm sure there were better investment theses out there, but this made sense to me. A mix of GOATs and US players, US MNT players. As weeks and months went on, I started thinking about other guys like me, other guys who had bought cards back in that October swell, that in October 150,000 tripling, cards doubling overnight. Other guys like me holding to Stell. And I started looking around March into April, started looking for World Cup fever. And I started tracking soccer like never before, because now I had a stake in it. Started following guys like Christian Pulisic and Folarin Balogun and Ricardo Pepi, as well as, of course, like Messi and Ronaldo. I started looking to see the where's the buzz? I kept reading about how high ticket prices were. They are gougerific. I'd go to Costco and I'd see some World Cup merch. Then I'd go back a couple weeks later and it'd still be sitting there. Now, you know, when something's hot at Costco, it's gone. You buy it and you go back again. If you don't and you missed your opportunity, merch is kind of sitting there. Granted, me going to the local Costco is not empirical study, but it just kind of seemed quiet. We're 2 weeks away from the US MNT being announced, the US men's national team to be announced on May 26th. There's still time, but I'm still a little bit surprised at this relative quiet around the World Cup. Now, we got 30 days, and this is another country. I imagine there'd be a fever. Am I missing it? Leave a comment. Let me know. Are you hearing tons and tons about the World Cup? I'm trying to pay attention. I'm trying to see if it's coming up in conversation. And I don't know, maybe it's different where you are. Let me know. And so I started to think that this black swan event, this merger, this once in a lifetime opportunity, this black swan of cards being booming out of control, with the World Cup taking place in North America, US, Mexico, Canada, I started thinking about this once in a lifetime opportunity, depending on the one thing that I'm not convinced this podcaster fully accounted Four, there needs to be more demand than supply. Soccer cards need actual soccer card collectors, not just guys like me buying to sell. The investment thesis needs guys who want to collect soccer. Sellers need buyers. You can't just be selling to other sellers to selling to other sellers. At some point, someone is going to be left holding the bag. There have to be more soccer card collectors. Now, the soccer market is small. We know that soccer by far is the world's biggest global sport, and that the US accounts for half of the global card market. But would having the World Cup in North America necessarily translate to a sustained market? I have to pause for a second. This sounds nothing like anything I've done before. Oh my God. Excuse me. I've never done a podcast like this. I'm talking about like soccer card investing, a market. Oh, this is so weird. I can't, 11 minutes in, this doesn't even sound like me. Okay. Whew, I just had to name that. Is this even, who are you, Dave Spinrad? All right. The US accounts for half of the global card market. But and here's my question, if it is a black swan event, if all of a sudden it's to the moon, Alice, would having the World Cup in North America necessarily translate to a sustained market? I have some data to share. This is Card Ladder daily sales. This is volume. This is 1 year volume. Soccer on a daily basis. Card Ladder daily sales. This is for the past year. Soccer has done $47,000 in official Card Ladder recognized sales. They have a market cap, the total card market, $172 million. So in the past year, soccer has done $47,000 in sales a day. The total market cap is $172 million. Tiny. How do you know it's tiny? I'm going to give you the big three by comparison. Football, $180,000 in daily sales. Baseball, $599,000 in daily sales. Basketball, $762,000 in daily sales. Soccer, 47, football, 180, baseball, 599, basketball, 762, soccer, $47,000 a day. Market caps, soccer's is 172 million. What's football? 866 million is its market cap. Soccer, 172. Baseball's market cap is 3.86 billion. Basketball's total market cap, 3.7 billion. Soccer, 172 million. Soccer is small in the card hobby. Will it grow? Yes. Why not? Now, I may be in the minority and I may be dead wrong. I think the World Cup will be an exciting event, but I do not think that soccer is going to take over the card collecting hobby. There's just not enough for collectors to allot a portion of their budget to start and keep collecting it. I don't think it's happening. I could be wrong. Could be wrong. What do I know? Right? Obviously, I'm out of my lane as an investor, but I just didn't. I just couldn't. And so I decided to sell. I thought about it and I decided I'm going to sell early rather than sell a little bit too late. I'm going to sell now before there's a glut of other knuckleheads like me thinking they're going to strike it rich because of the World Club. So here's what I'm going to show you some slides here. Here are 8 cards that I sold. Mexico's SAR Santiago Germain, a gold prism out of 10, a 2014 Netminders Neymar red, 2022 Prism World Cup Qatar, or is it Qatar? I never know. It's a maroon prism rookie card, numbered out of 22 out of Ricardo Pepi. He might be a striker. He might be the backup. This is the most I've ever known about soccer in my life. To his right, Folarin Balogun. I think that's some 2024 Stars and Stripes. I think that's numbered out of 24. Bottom right-hand corner, 2023 Select FIFA. Also Folarin Balogun gold out of 10. This is so ridiculous. I can't believe I bought these cards. I'm out, maybe. So I sold these. What do we else we got? We got a 2021-22 Don Russ. Also Road to Qatar, Pulisic Red Velocity PSA 10. Then next to that, a 20. This is a good. This is actually this is a cool one. 2014 Prism Neymar Jr. First year Prism World Cup Prism mint at a what is that? PSA 9 Prism, and the bottom left is a Folarin Balogun rookie card, but not in the US MNT kit. The only one I didn't get in the national team. And of these 8, one of two cards I ended up losing on. Okay, so my total investment on these 8 cards. The first one, that Netfinders Red Neymar, I bought and sold on ComC, made a nice little profit. The other 7 I sent to DC Sports 87, also not a sponsor, but a fine outfit. I invested $647. And after everyone took their little taste, after Don Fanucci got to wet his beak over at DC Sports, I cleared $817, a 26% profit. All right, not bad, not bad, not bad. A little profit. Let's go to the next one. Next one is, this is that iconic 2014 Panini Prism World Cup, first set issued by Prism of the World Cup. One of the coolest cards is a card called Matchups. It has the 2 GOATs on one card. It's an insert card, features both Ronaldo and Messi. Cristiano Ronaldo on the left, Lionel Messi on the right, both representing Portugal and Argentina, respectively. This is by far the most I've ever talked about soccer in my entire life. So the one on the left I bought back in the fall. I bought that, I think, in September. Give me one second. I got data for you. Yep. Bought it in September. Sold it in January. Bought it for $3,500. Sold it for $4,315 after expenses, $4,150. Made an 18.5% profit on that one. And then the 2 next to it, those are base cards. And back in the fall at a show, I was able to pick up 2 raw ones. This was actually a real good opportunity right here. Picked them up raw for $600, submitted them to PSA, all said and done with their fees and shipping time, $750. And then last weekend, I think it was yesterday, it was on Mother's Day. I said, you know what? I'm out. I had these 2 offers. I had them in the PSA vault after I got them graded. And I just said, I don't want anything to do with this. And I had these 2 sitting offers. Sold the PSA 8 for $725.66. The PSA 9 for $1,200. That's a real good profit. It's 157% profit on those 2. I cleared 90% comps on both of them. Actually, the PSA 9, I was about 96% profit. Man, repeat after me. Speculate on the speculators, right? Whoever's buying these cards, I have a feeling they're buying them to sell them. And I'm not interested. I'm just not. One more slide to show you. Here we go. I bought Captain America, Christian Pulisic. He will be the merchandising star of the World Cup. But quick, without looking at his jersey, what number does Pulisic wear? Drop a comment. I only know it's 11 because I'm looking at his jersey. So I bought, excuse me, 2016 Panini Select Christian Pulisic Emerging Star Signature I bought that one on the left raw on eBay for $646, spent $75 to get it graded for a $721 investment, sold it back in March on eBay. I left it on eBay, on PSA's vault, sold it for $1,004. Why did I sell it? Because at the same time, in the PSA vault, I saw on eBay's website the same car, 2016 Select Emerging Star Signature Orange, same exact card, same exact price, $1,005, except the base card is out of 149. That was the one I sold. I bought the out of 75. So a card that's twice as rare, same grade, same card, orange, same price. We'll see how it goes. Boy, this is unlike any other rated Rabbi Sports Card podcast episode you've ever seen before. Speculate on the speculators who sold into the excitement, who made the real money. The guys who made the real money in this whole World Cup hullabaloo, my gut tells me it's the people who bought back in 2024. It's the people who bought in early 2025. It's the people who were selling in the fall of 2025. Cards went parabolic at that time. They sold to me. I was a buyer, right? The ones who sold back in the fall, they were the ones who speculated on the ones who speculated on the speculators. They were the smart ones. Was this unnamed podcaster one of them? Maybe. If so, more power to him. He wasn't screaming buy. No one made me spend money. He was sharing information. He was letting people put together the pieces the way they wanted to put them together. People have free will. He's a smart guy. I wish him nothing but success. But I just don't want this to be my hobby. A hobby is something done regularly in our leisure time for pleasure. And the pursuit of money is just, it's not that exciting to me. I'm not against money, not at all, but the pursuit of it's not a hobby. It's not that exciting. So of the 15 cards I initially bought, I have 4 of them left. I have that orange Pulisic rookie auto out of 49. It's at PSA right now. Pretty soon I'll send that to eBay auction. I have a second 2014 Prism Neymar silver. I'm going to hold it up here. Bought both of these. Made a nice profit and did fine. I think I bought it for 125 and sold it after fees. I think it was 196, made about $70 on that. So I'll sell that one pretty soon. I have a 2022 Panini Prism Christian Pulisic Blue Shimmer out of 5 right there up on the screen. That is right now up for auction and also at DC Sports 87 on eBay. 2025 Christian Pulisic. Got that nice World Cup in the US kit. Blue Shimmer out of 5. So that's for sale. And then I have this one more card. I have one more card that out of the 15, 14 out of 15 will go. One more card I am keeping for myself. I'm keeping this last one locked up for a very, very long time. I'm not going to tell you the card. I will tell you the player. The card I'm keeping is a Lionel Messi card. And just seems like the prudent thing to do. So not counting those 4 cards, the other 11 cards, my total investment was $5,618. Really ate into my war chest with this one. $5,618. My returns were $7,896. Profited $2,278, a 40% profit. Bear in mind, I still got to pay taxes on those. So $2,278, a 40% profit. And guess what? I'm out, baby. You know the saying, greedy pigs get slaughtered. So plenty for me. We'll see what happens with this run up to the World Cup. My gut tells me there's going to be a glut of inventory coming into the hobby. I just don't think there are enough collectors. I think there are people like to make money. Fine and good, not for me. Money's fine, not my hobby. At the end of this, I didn't enjoy it. Like, you've never heard this kind of episode for me because it's just not how I wanna do this. I didn't enjoy it at all. Like, speculating on speculators was fine. It's just not how I want a hobby, not how I wanna live. There's something going on with cards right now that just defies reason. The inflationary factors that contributed to the market crash in 2023 and 2024 are still there. A gallon of gas is 5.50 or more by me. It's interesting. No one's talking about a bubble. Back in the fall, everyone's summer, a bubble, 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 bubble. Everyone's kind of stopped talking about a bubble as if not talking about it will wish it away. Now, I know there have been huge numbers of people who've come in post bubble, post bust in the card market. I know there are a lot of new collectors and investors who've entered the space, but just something's going on. It's got me feeling cautious. I've added some significant cards in 2026, but everything I've added, I'm holding. That 61 Fleer Wilt Chamberlain rookie I got from TJ is online. That's a PC card. When it comes to speculating on speculators, you're making a second order bet. The bet is that people are going to become so obsessed with whatever they're pursuing that I'll have an opportunity to profit from their behavior. This may be a deeper insight into how economics work, but it's not for me. It's not fun. And I'm in this hobby because I want to have fun. I'm in this hobby because I want to get excited to share with you my did not buy card of the week. Here it is up on the screen. 1952 Topps card number 1, Andy Pafko. Talk about one of the truly iconic cards. The first top set, I don't count 51, that's a game. The first top set, the first card, 1952 Topps Andy Pafko. That's the kind of card I want in my collection. Didn't buy it this week just because I was consumed with selling cards, soccer cards for the World Cup. Only have so much time. I'm a rabbi. I got a family, for crying out loud. All right, that's enough for me. You know what to do. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others. And most of all, just remember this is all just a ride. So long for now.